much as I do now as a person who's very much in love with music, but that we could all share this thing that these performers created.
All right, it's Luke Macfarlane as well as Billy Eichner. The movie is Bros. It's my favorite movie of the week. I gave it a 4.5 out of 5. I loved it. It's in theaters today. Another movie that's in theaters today, as you mentioned, was Sigourney Weaver. We got really serious in this interview. This is a film called The Good House. It's actually playing now in theaters. Her character is a real estate agent in New England. She ends up falling for an old flame of hers, played by Kevin Kline. But the film also deals a lot with alcoholism and clinical depression, and I wanted to speak to her about that. And she gave me a very surprising insight into her own life and what this film did for her cathartically, but also what does her house say about her that we wouldn't know? Take a look. There's a scene in this film that really touched me. You're on the dock and you're basically telling yourself you don't need it. I need to stop. And on a personal level, alcoholism runs in my family. So does mental health. And there's also this line that you say in the film about your character's mother and then clinical depression being a word you wouldn't use back then. But we are in a day now where these things are destigmatized to a level where people are talking about them.
Well, I have to say it was an amazing opportunity to tell a story of this older woman from her point of view, who's funny, thank God, but she is. I also have that in my family. And one of the reasons I wanted to do the film was I wanted to show that the first 2 or 3 drinks, fine. You know, I mean, it's certainly after COVID, I think there was quite a bit of self-medicating. People had to investigate their relationship with alcohol. And that scene on the dock where she's saying, I can stop drinkings. Yeah, I mean, I just know what a big problem it was in my family. And I kind of did this movie because that's as close as I want to get to it, frankly.
There's a great monologue you have early on in the film where you're talking about how someone's house can tell you about a person, the wear and tear and the little things about someone's house. What would your house tell people about you that people would be surprised about?
Well, I would say that you would be able to walk in and say the dog lives there that has so many toys and has torn things up and left little bits of things around the house. So you would definitely think the dog runs this family. And you'd be right. She's a COVID puppy and, you know, she's wonderful. She's a little greyhound, but she just races around this place and leaving her everything behind her.
All right, that's Sigourney Weaver. The Good House is her new movie. It's in theaters now. Both of those films are in theaters. We're going to have Kate Hudson coming up on Lion Lunch Hour. Also, I'm going to review Hocus Pocus 2, which I have seen. That's on Disney Plus today. Wisdom, what does your house say about you?
My kids run this. Because there's stuff everywhere. I go, just like she said about her dog, and you go in the house and there's stuff everywhere. I'm like, really? I got to come home to this? Where's my wife? Yeah, all right. Thank you, Kevin.
All right, thanks, Wiz.
All right, Jeanette, over to you.
All right, thanks, y'all. 10:20 is your time. We are talking relationship refresh, what that means, what you're doing wrong with expert Monique Kelly. Also, we are still talking about your weather. Tucker, what you got?
Oh, I find out what I'm doing wrong all the time. So, that's it. Wait, I got to do weather. 59.